Good day to everyone. My name is Ілля Demidchuk. I am a 9th grader at the Андрія Малишка Lyceum in Ovrucky. Let me offer you the main results of my research on the topic, lexical and semantic field of the concept ВІЙНА in English and Ukrainian. Since the 60s of the last century, linguistics has witnessed a rapid development of comparative studies on the material of different languages of the world. Already in the 50s of the 20th century, a number of scientific works appeared devoted to the development of the theory of language contacts, area linguistics closely related to the issues of linguistic typology. The practical goals of comparative studies are to compile dictionaries that serve the practice of teaching foreign languages and the theory and practice of translation. The concept of war is universal in any national picture of the world, because wars have accompanied humanity throughout its history. At the same time, the analyzed concept is the most nationally labeled, as it is determined by the military experience of each nation in its past. That is why the reflection of this concept in any linguistics picture of a certain national community of the world attracts the attention of representatives of different linguistics directions. Our country is at war, and since the full-scale invasion of Ukraine by Russian troops, the world's attention has been focused on the tragic events taking place on our land. So it is quite justified to actualize the language on the military concepts in its social-political discourse. The purpose of the study is to make a comparative analysis of the lexical and semantic fields of the concept ВІЙНА in English and Ukrainian. This goal involves solving the following tasks: to analyze the scientific works on the definition of the concept, lexical and semantic field, and concept, as well as the state of their research in domestic and foreign linguistics. To compile lexical and semantic fields of the concepts ВІЙНА in English and Ukrainian. To compare the data of lexical and semantic fields at the moment of similarity and difference in their compared languages. To conduct a social survey in one of the German schools. I have analyzed the British online newspapers, The Guardian and The New York Times, and determined that the most frequent components of war in English language journalistic discourse are the lexemes war and assault. The Cambridge Dictionary defines the word war as armed struggle between two or more countries or groups. This study has led to the conclusion that in the Ukrainian language, the concept of war is objectified by a number of lexical means, forming universal binary oppositions: war, peace; death, life; evil, good; sadness, joy, and others. And the most often it is identified with the concept of battle, enemy, war, and the opposite in meaning and evaluation, peace. Studying the specifics of the lexical and semantic field of the concept, we found out that the structure of this concept includes a certain number of other full-fledged concepts, including the following: weapons, battle, death, bloodshot, loss, tears, sorrow, enemy, fear, separation, faith, victory, army, pain, blood. The structure of the associative field is clearly divided into a core, a near-core zone, a semi-periphery, and a periphery. The core is condensed and consists of reactions that embody the most typical ideas about war: death, pain, fear, blood, and horror. At the same time, in other studies, the core associations were death, tears, pain, fear, and weapons. In my research, the reaction of tears is attributed to the near-nuclear zone, and weapons to the semi-periphery. This movement of reaction from the core to the periphery may be due to the dominance of the emotional over the visual in the minds of modern Ukrainians when they became direct participants or victims of war, rather than outside observers. The core zone of the associative field is formed by the following reactions: tears, loss, grief, Russia, evil, hatred, suffering, explosions, genocide, victory, destruction, murder, horror, crime, devastation, famine, peace, ruin. Part of the research, a sociological survey was conducted in the form of questionnaire among the 9th grade students of the Андрія Малишка Lyceum and 8th grade students from the school in Zeebrugge in the German city of Kleinmachnow. It should be noted that the German students were rather reluctant to answer the questionnaire. It was obvious that they were not interested in the concept of war in general. Ukrainian students, unlike their German peers, took the survey responsibly, because the concept of war is irrelevant and painful for them. The results of the survey are presented in the form of diagrams. Both Ukrainian and German respondents believe that the meaning of the term war has expanded over time. This can be explained by several factors, including change in the nature of conflicts, evolving global dynamics, and the influence of media and technology. Thus, after analyzing the information and research data, it can be argued that the understanding of war by Ukrainians and Germans is similar, as they give almost identical definitions. It is possible to identify a universal definition of war that is suitable for both the Ukrainian and German people. War is a conflict between countries, peoples, or social groups. Thank you for your attention.